Clive and Wrench is a 3D platformer starring Clive, a rabbit, and Wrench, the literal monkey on his back. Your adventure takes you hurtling through space and time in a 1950s refrigerator on a heroic quest to thwart the tyrannical Dr. Dorcas and stop his evil plans. Clive and Wrench is an ode to the 3D collectathon from the glory days of 3D platforming. Today we're going to walk you through the game's plot, characters, gameplay and more as we aim to give you a pretty good overview of what you can expect if you sit down to play Clive and Wrench when it releases very soon. One fateful morning, Professor Nancy Mary Karp wakes to find that her proudly displayed time travel blueprints have been nabbed by the downright evil Dr. Dorcas. Minutes later, a sudden flash of purple illuminates the sky and a portal appears. Luckily, Nancy's cousin Clive and her apprentice Wrench are there to help pursue the wicked doctor and put to an end his horrid plans. But to do this, they must travel through time themselves. Clive and Wrench tells its story through a number of worlds and locales, with distinct themes, aesthetics and characters. But how does it play? One of the most important things in a 3D platformer is always the control. Precision is key, and it's essential that your character feels good to play as. Thankfully, both Clive and Wrench feel awesome to control, and if you've played any other 3D platformers before, these characters will feel right at home with your hands on the control pad. Though don't worry if you're on PC, though the game is optimised for full controller support, we also have a mouse and keyboard control scheme that we also think works quite well. Clive and Wrench have a number of moves they can pull off, which makes traversing through the game's many worlds a breeze. We've got your standard jump. With a double button press, this becomes a double jump, allowing extra precision, the means to jump a little bit higher, or allow yourself time to recover from a mistake. Next up is the chimp chopper. Extend your jump or fall into a glide by quickly spinning a monkey above your head. Yeah, it's great for traversing long distances. At any point, Clive and Wrench can go from a walk to a sprint using the sprint button, and this can also be used to perform a long jump. Change direction quickly and hit the jump button to perform the side flip, a trickier move that will let you reach new heights. Alternatively, use the crouch button followed by jumping to perform a crouch jump, a slightly easier way to ascend real high. Clive and Wrench can also crash downwards with the belly flop, smashing whatever might be below. The cool thing, these moves aren't exclusive, you can chain them together. That means you can long jump into a double jump into a chimp chopper. The possibilities are quite varied. And yes, you did hear me right, all of these abilities are unlocked from the offset. Clive and Wrench don't need to learn any of their moveset. They have their whole arsenal available from the get-go. We like to think this will be great for players' muscle memories and future playthroughs, but really it should allow a level of flexibility to gameplay. A new player can naturally figure out their best way to play as they progress, whereas an experienced player could use their mastery of the moveset to find shortcuts and alternative solutions in future playthroughs. Speaking of future playthroughs, the game has a speedrun timer that can be toggled on and off for those of you that want an extra challenge. We look forward to seeing who can beat the game fastest. But how is the game structured? Well, let's start with where our characters begin. A space between time is Clive and Wrench's official hub world, a place where time itself is coming apart at the seams. This is where Clive and Wrench will return to after leaving a level, and you unlock more parts of the world as the game progresses. Each part of the space between time breaks off into its own world. Many of these consist of a level door and a boss door. Both of these can be unlocked by collecting a number of items within each game's world, and there are 11 worlds in total to visit. If you want to progress, you'd better get collecting. Maybe we'll reward you for collecting everything. While in each world there are a number of items and characters you should look out for, here's a few of them. Number 1, Ancient Stones are Clive and Wrench's signature game collectible. Each world consists of 10 to collect. Some are obvious to find, some are hidden in mysterious places, some require you to clear a side quest or find a specific thing. If you get stuck, there's a list in the menu that can give you a few hints. Pocket watches are littered throughout levels and are also very important, as not only do they unlock parts of a space between time, but they also help guide you in the right direction within each level. One little mechanic I didn't mention earlier was the watch finder radar. With a press of the D-pad, you can bring up one of Nancy's high-tech devices, which can help you track down missing pocket watches if you're feeling a little bit stuck. It will always point you towards the watch closest to your position, which is very handy if you only have a few missing watches remaining. Each world also contains a hidden scroll. These can be handed into the Karma Lamas, a knowledgeable yet somewhat wisecracking group of llamas who always seem to have a hint as to where one of the trickier ancient stones can be found within each world. As for a little bit more detail, here's a preview of the worlds you can expect to find during Clive and Wrench's journey. Bunny I Shrunk the Chimp, Clive and Wrench shrink down to pocket size and explore theirs and Nancy's house. It's filled with aggressive wind-up toys, missing bees, and hazardous house appliances. The Great Wen, an industrial city altered by Dr. Dorcas's time travel. Explore his elixir factory, discover secrets in store at the museum, and come face to face with none other than Drew the Ripper himself. Cajun Mob Bog, a cross between a mobster's paradise and a literal swamp. Witch Doctor Baroness Samades has corrupted this small town with the help of Dr. Dorcas. Assist the citizens of the town, explore the steamboat, and do your best to escape the Witch Doctor's tricks. Oh God, what is he doing here? Tempest Tombs. Led by the great pharaoh Cleopatra, Tempest Tombs is the home of the pyramids, though some extraterrestrial characters are seemingly being forced to take part in the construction. Help them out, explore ancient tombs, and climb great structures as you take on the pharaoh and her forces. A Grave Mistake, a horror-themed world full of witches, skeletons, sentient scarecrows, and pumpkins. This spooky landscape is home to Vlad the Impala himself. Solve puzzles in the church and take him down for good. But that's not all. There's also Ancient Greece Trap. Race a tortoise and explore the mazes of ancient Greece. The Chimp, the Bag and the Bunny. Unearth the mines and stop a train robbery. Hair today, gong tomorrow, featuring the game's most challenging boss battle. Corsair's Cove. Avoid attacks from none other than the Kraken. Iceratops, What Makes Christmas Better. Dinosaurs, of course. And Middle Age Crisis. Cyber the Dragon looms over this broken down medieval landscape. Whew, that's a lot of levels. As well as the variety, there is a lot of detail in these worlds, with Easter eggs, lots more cameo characters who you'll recognise from other games, YouTube and Twitch. We'll think you'll really enjoy some of those finer touches, and we can't wait to see who stumbles upon what first. So that's everything we have to show you today. There's more to experience in the game itself, but we don't want to spoil everything. We hope you're as excited for Clive and Wrench as we are, and we can't wait to see what you think of the game when it arrives in February. Follow us for more information on the game as we push closer to release. Clive and Wrench is available to pre-order digitally and physically on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. The game is also available on PC via Steam or GOG. If you want to support the game or make sure you're first to play it on launch day, please wishlist on Steam today.